Gay, the Australian Easter yearling sale, you love it, don't you? It's cut and thrust out there, isn't it?
It really is, Bruce. I love it because I suppose I do my homework. I love training horses, and I love having in the yard horses that I really like. And so I come to the sale, and I've got several briefs from owners to buy, but I also buy on spec. And the ones I buy, both types, I've done my research, and I think, I'll give that a punt. And I think people who have horses with me or bought horses that I've purchased know that I've done the research. I'm very trying to get them the best product all the time.
Well, it's not just the 4 or 5 days of the sales. For you, this starts months ago going to farms, doesn't it?
It certainly does. In going up to Magic Millions, for instance, I start in October. Going up to Easter, I start probably 6 to 8 weeks before, and I go to the farms. I see the way they handle them, and then I'm looking for the horse on the rise. The horse has got that meteoric rise from when I saw it on the farm, maybe being a bit naughty, being a little bit light in condition, not quite handling its early part of the prep. But by the time it gets here, it walks out and says, "Hello, I own the place. That's the horse I want."
So it's not so much the pedigree page for you, is it? It's the physical specimen.
Totally the physical specimen. I don't say totally. 98% is a physical specimen for me, because that's what I'm training and what I make, furnish that horse into being a Group 1 horse. The pedigree is essential. 1, what you're going to pay for the horse, and 2, what he'll be worth as a stallion or a broodmare later. So I look at the pedigree page, I say, is that acceptable? I don't want to be buying what I call a piddly pedigree. I want something with substance. But I also want to buy a horse that I know can run.
Are you fairly strong on confirmation? Do you forgive faults, for example?
I'm very forgiving in everything in life. But there are certain things I can't train. I know that a big, heavy-shouldered horse that's offset at its knees are going to have great difficulty keeping it sound or keeping it as a colt. And with the residual value of stallions, you've got to be mindful of that. I'm very aware of prominent sesamoids. I like a horse with a big, strong behind. But yet if I'm buying a stayer, I want something with a long, loose limb. So depending what I'm buying.
Much on X-rays at all?
Well, look, it become part and parcel of us buying horses. My vets know that the bottom line is, will it be able to cope with whatever the... Just wait for that plate.
Yep. Do it again. Okay. So much on X-rays at all for you?
Bruce, with the X-rays, it's part and parcel of buying horses in the years 2000. So you've got to be mindful of it. And sometimes it tells you things you may not have seen, or the vet may not have seen. I use a vet. I use Dr. Greg Nash, and I use Ross Teisel in Victoria. And I find that, I love their appraisal of the horse. Not do they like it or not like it, will it stand training? And then we look at the X-ray, and then will that affect it?
So there's no absolute blueprint here, isn't it? It's just what Gay wants. I mean, and if I ask you what Gay wants, what is it?
I want an athletic horse. I want a horse that if he fell over, he jumped straight back on his feet and he handled. I want a horse with a heart. I want a horse with a lovely alert head and a brain. I want a horse with a willing nature. So that's what Gay wants. Gay wants something that I can turn into a Group 1 performer for my owners.
You want a winner?
No, I want a Group 1. I come to the sales years ago, Bruce. I went to my first sale and I bought about half a dozen horses, and I brought them home and showed them my dad, and he said, "Just lucky a man's got money." And they were horrible. And he said, "Gay, I'll give you a tip." And I said, "What, Dad?" He said, "If you go to the sales, go to buy a Group 1 horse." And I said, "Well, how do I know it's a Group 1 horse? How do I know it's a champion?" He said, "That's what you've got to train your eye to look for." He said, "Don't go and buy a horse, because a horse will be a failure."
So if you see a horse offered to train by Gay Waterhouse, it might have been a horse you respect here. It's a horse that you really believe is that possibility.
Very much so. And I really believe that horse could be shaped into being a Group 1 horse.
Wouldn't it be great to have a horse trained by Gay?
Oh, absolutely.
There you go.